Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and it is time for some physical media news. Screen Factory just announced a bunch of titles, including some recent 4K sets that are going out of print. There's a bunch of Chase's targets floating around out there, and there is the new announcements from Umbrella, Criterion, and so much more. We got a lot to get to, so pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. All right, so I've been off of physical media news for a couple weeks. Honestly, December's a little slower of a month, so it's easier to kind of be off of physical media news a little bit. There's not as many drops happening, but here in the past like 48 hours, we've kind of got a avalanche of news, and a lot of that involves some Chase's targets. Some of it involves some prize out of print things from Screen Factory that are on sale right now, and definitely got some targets out there that are coming that I haven't got to talk to you guys about yet. So lots to get to. We're going to just jump right into it. Right here, I got my email this morning. Actually, it was yesterday morning, about 18 hours ago, from Criterion about their recent drops for March. So I was talking on the live stream and to some of the guys about this. March is a long way out, right? It feels like that's a long way out. But Umbrella has already dropped for April. Y'all, it is not Christmas yet, and Umbrella's dropping for April. And then they are notoriously kind of slow. I love Umbrella, but they're notoriously slow for shipping stuff out. So, I mean, the thought of ordering something now and not getting it until like May or so or later is a little too for me to wrap my head around. So maybe just slow down a little bit there. Let us all kind of catch our breath. But I want to jump into the Criterion because honestly, I've definitely been diving more into Criterion here lately, talking to you guys about it. I'm going to do my Criterion Closet picks review, all that stuff, a few videos on that in January, see how it goes. But I feel like their announcement for this past month is kind of a step back from the previous couple of months. But one thing they did announce was Godzilla versus Biolante. I think that's how you say it. I haven't seen this one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not seen this. This is not from the Showa era, right? This is from the next era that comes after the Showa era. I know the Godzilla is like broken up into eras, right? So we'll look at over here. I think this is the side I'm putting the screen on, but it's going to have a new 4K restoration with surround sound, DTS HD master, all that kind of good stuff. It's interesting because, you know, a lot of people are like, I literally just bought this DVD or whatever, but Criterion's definitely, because this one's from 1989. So it's a much more recent Godzilla film, but I just always... They put out that big Showa era set. They've been doing some more Godzillas. Actually, this artwork is kind of stand out for me for Criterion. I haven't seen them do artwork for a single release that's like maybe quite this eye-popping for Godzilla. So super cool artwork. That's one that I'll eventually get around to getting. They don't have anything that's like on an immediate target list for me from this month. It's not like them having... Chronos or Punch Drunk Love, or because man, it feels like they just announced Punch Drunk Love, right? Because if you guys follow me, I was talking about getting the curse, the Blu-ray curse. Now I had just bought that in November during the sale, and like 48 hours later they announced it on a 4K, and here we are announcing another month already. So a lot of these, I feel like we can't keep up at the rate that they're announcing. But this month, this feels like a step down. and we'll get into it a little bit more in just a second. I don't know a lot. There's a silent film here. I am not a big silent film guy. A Woman in Paris from 1923. Wages of Fear from 1953. All these are getting the 4K treatment. I believe even A Woman in Paris. No, that A Woman in Paris is a Blu-ray, 1923. Wages of Fear is coming to 4K. It's going to have some special features, an uncompressed mono soundtrack, which is interesting. And then Choose Me is coming to 4K. This stars Keith Carradine. I don't know that I've ever seen this movie. Keith Carradine's getting a lot of like pop-up in some old 4K restorations from a lot of different labels here lately, it seems like. But I don't really know much about this movie at all, to be honest with you. But it's coming to 4K. And Gene Hackman in Night Moves, I have seen before. It's from 1975. It would be like a first time watch for me. I haven't seen it in so long, but I think it's funny if somebody, hey, you're welcome everybody. I just bought the Blu-ray. I know how that feels, but Arthur Penn film, that one is coming in March as well from Criterion. And then you have The Thief starring James Caan. This is a Michael Mann movie. I have seen this. I feel like this and Godzilla and Night Moves here are probably the highlights of this set, of this release. But that's all, subjective. For me, this movie's okay. It's okay. But I don't have like a need to run out. 1981, I think this is. I don't have a need to run out and get any of these. It's not like getting back to the reason I say it's a step down in my opinion is like you've been having things like Winchester 73. It's a really good, almost I feel like horror movie starring Jimmy Stewart. You had Punch Drunk Love. You have The Shape of Water. You had Chronos coming out. You had like all of these bigger titles, at least in my opinion, just overall stronger months. And I just don't feel like this one, Drugstore Cowboy in there, Gus Van Sant film. I just don't feel like this month quite holds up to those others, but that is kind of just a quick look at the Criterion releases. Now let's talk about the Screen Factory stuff that's going out of print, and we'll get into some of my targets and some other stuff in a few minutes. Having a little coffee with the news this morning. So Screen Factory hits me up with an early notification email about some titles they have going out of print and on sale. And, a lot of it is not huge stuff, but there's a few things that kind of caught my eye. I'd say the first one up is for all you Bubba Hotep fans out there, the Bubba Hotep is down to 23 left in stock. Now, it looks like it's the collector's edition that is going out of print, right? Try to fix I got my blinking going on back there. It looks like it's the collector set with the 2 posters and the 2 slip covers, the 4K. For $19.99, you get all that. It's down to 23 left. When I started this video this morning, or when I was getting ready for the video this morning, there was like 100 and something. So some people are buying them out. And whenever I move in front of my lights, they want to blink. So hopefully it's not bothering you too much back there. But $19.99, 23 left. So you'll get this video out Saturday morning. So hopefully you got time if you want to grab it. I'm assuming the out of print is just referring to this set, these particular sets on here, and not the 4K overall, because surprisingly, Village of the Damned is on here, and it's down at the time of this recording to 11 left. 11. So my lights are just going nuts over there, aren't they, guys? I apologize. All right, so Village of the Damned. Now this is a Carpenter set, so of course I got this right away. But it is, I guess, at the time of this recording, there's 11 of these left. I am 100% assuming it just means for this collector's edition with the 2 slipcovers and the 2 posters. I don't know about the black box, because this came with a black box set for Carpenter. I don't know about that set. It's not showing it, but this set is down to 11 left in stock. It's not even on sale. It's $39.98, so it's still the original price. I actually enjoyed this better on the rewatch, and this 4K is really good. I like that creepy small town atmosphere, so if you want that set, you better grab it quick. Same thing here with the Return of the Living Dead collector set. This is the one with the posters, the little black box with the enamel pins and all that stuff. It is down to $49.99 right now, so it's about half price. And there were only 1,000 of these to start with. This with the Gutter Garbs pins, and it's down to 73 at the time of this recording. So you know, I'm a big Return of the Living Dead fan. I don't own this one. I have it on Steelbook though. So, and the standard. I don't have this 4K, but I have the Steelbook. I'd love to have that poster. I'm not spending what that would equate to $50 because I already have the movie, but not a bad deal if you don't have it. I'm again assuming for sure this just means that this set is going out of print and not the 4K in general. But that's not a bad deal on that if you want to pick it up. You have some things that I've seen on here before. You have a Slapshot Steelbook. This is the Paul Newman hockey movie. This is pretty good. $12.99 Steelbook, limited edition steel. I believe that's just the Blu-ray, but still $12.99 for a Steelbook. Not bad. Here's another big one. We're not going to go over all these, but the JFK, Kevin Costner's JFK, the collector's edition. It doesn't tell how many of these are left, so I'm guessing that there's still quite a few. It must not down under to where they're counting it down anyway, but it is on sale for $35.99. They have it as going out of print. The edition with the poster is already sold out as of last November. So this is actually one that I don't own. I would consider picking this one up. I don't know if Risha has seen this. She's a big JFK person, but I don't know if she's seen it. But this is a nice, pretty big box set of this for $35.99. It's going out of print. They got it. So it makes me wonder if maybe on something like this, there's like another edition coming of this. Like, I find it questionable that this would just go unless, you know, sometimes rights things happen, and I could see like Criterion picking this up and doing their own 4K release of this. That's something else. There was the big leak of all the announcements from Warner Brothers, 4Ks coming out and stuff like that. And I had said what I would like to see Criterion release and you know, like Vinegar Syndrome or this or that. And people are like, oh, well, Warner's already said that Boogie Nights, for instance, is coming out on 4K. And so is Lethal Weapon, because I'd like to see Arrow do Lethal Weapon. And I will just say to that, they announced those are coming to 4K. They did not announce who's putting those out. You can have Warner Brothers put out the 4K, have the 4K done, but those come out from a different label. So that's just because they announced those are coming to 4K doesn't mean who is putting them out. Like Barry Lyndon is already with Criterion. They announced that 4K. It could still be a 4K coming from Criterion, and they just have it on the slate of films that they own that are coming out. Doesn't mean they are all releasing them as studio releases. They could, but it doesn't mean that. They could 100% Demolition Man, for instance, is Warner Brothers, and it is with Arrow. So Lethal Weapon is Warner Brothers. It could easily be released by Arrow. So just because Warner announced that these were coming doesn't mean that they are putting them out themselves. So, just keep that in mind. And while we're on the studio thing, real quick, everybody is really worried about LG stopping their production of 4K players. Let me tell you, that doesn't mean the end of physical media. LG they're great with TVs. They are obliterated in the market by Sony and Panasonic when it comes to 4K players, Blu-ray players. They just are. And the Sony layoffs were in a little division that makes recordable consumer Blu-rays, not Blu-rays that we buy and watch, but the ones that you buy that are blank that you can burn yourselves. And there's tons of other makers of those. Sony just forked over countless hush-hush dollars to acquire the rights to put out physical media of Disney's catalog. Only physical media. So I can promise you they did not do that with a mind to stop making the one thing that can play those things, right? That's talk about cutting off your nose to spite your face. You go and spend billions of dollars to be able to release films on nothing but physical media, and then you stop producing the thing that plays the physical media that you just paid for. I don't see that happening anytime soon. So all this, oh my God, it's physical media. Look, LG accounted for like less than 10%, way less than 10% of the sales of 4K players. So they just weren't making enough. They weren't selling enough in the marketplace to be profitable. They're sticking to TVs. So keep that in mind. Just wanted to address that real quick. Take a breath. Physical media is going nowhere. We're getting more and more and more releases, more and more boutiques. Prices are going up because the demand is going up so high. So take a breath. Sony and Panasonic players will be there. And Sony is definitely not going to say, hey, paid all this money, but let's stop making the thing that can play those. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. So just a little aside there. Back to the list. That's the 3 4Ks that I had found on here. But you can look through here. There are quite a few titles. Darkman, the big Darkman set. Again, I'm going to say that this is down to 26 of these left right now at the time of this recording. So I'm trying to get this up as fast as I can, guys, on Saturday in case you didn't hear about this and you want to pick these up. It's down to $90, $89.99. All the posters, art cards, all that, the big set. So again, assuming that it is just this set that is going out of print and not the movie itself. The case of JFK could be a little bit different. Somebody else could be getting those rights. I doubt it, but it's possible. If they're going to let a 4K go out of print, then somebody else could be getting the rights. But everything else is mostly Blu-rays. I saw this. This is funny. I actually have this. Facts of Life, the complete series, is down to 21 left. A few months ago, this was a free gift with purchase. So I have this as a free gift with purchase that I've never opened. But I did watch that show when I was a kid. I had a crush on Blair. But everything else is mostly Blu-rays. So just take a look through that. I don't want to hold you guys up. So lots of Blu-rays here. I want to get to some things that I am targeting, some other things that have come out. And we're going to just go to my man over here at Orbit DVD. Because he has everything nice and laid out. The first one up, Summer Rental. I'm a big John Candy fan. Summer Rental and Great Outdoors are my favorite two of his, believe it or not. Summer Rental has the soundtrack done by Jimmy Buffett mostly. I love that movie. Comes out on January 21st, and it's just a Blu-ray. And they did do a 4K scan. So I'm a little confused by why they didn't do a 4K, because they did a 4K scan. I mean, it could have looked poor in full 4K. I don't know. Because they are also putting out Uncle Buck. Kino Lorber's been dropping bombs right and left here lately. But that is definitely a Chase's target, is Summer Rental. Love that movie. And the same thing, Kino Lorber dropping again. Another target of mine, Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. Like, this is one that I'll definitely get. Like, I have read or listened to all of Stephen King's books at some time or another. He's crazy, batshit crazy dude, but I do like his stories, even though usually he's not very good at endings. But Graveyard Shift is one that's coming out to 4K, coming out on February 25th. You can pre-order now. You can pre-order it from Orbit. That's probably where I'll pre-order it from if I get it. Definitely a target. You can see on here, maybe depending on how I crop the frame, but it is added to my wish list. That is not all. They also have, as I mentioned, here it is. This is definitely a target. Uncle Buck, the John Hughes, John Candy movie here, coming out on November. I wish we'd already have it. February the 18th, $29.99 on that one. 4K from Kino Lorber. So definitely a Chase's target with Uncle Buck. So a little John Candy double feature for you in there. And then let's jump back over here to, one more with Kino Lorber that is a target. But this one's been announced for a while. I've mentioned it on another. We just have an official date now. There's actually two, but I don't think the other one's on here yet. Dante's Peak, coming out February 11th. I really like this movie. I like this and Volcano. I think they're fun disaster films. But Dante's Peak, $29.99, 4K, coming out February 11th. Definitely a target of mine. Good movie. I feel comfortable recommending that one to you all out there. And there is one more that just got a date like yesterday afternoon from Kino Lorber. And let's see. Here it is. Stallone movie coming out, Daylight with Stallone. Underrated movie here. Very good. Actually has his late son playing in this movie. Sage Stallone plays in this with him. But this one is from another 90s movie, right there around the time of Demolition Man. It's 96. This one's coming out on March 11th. We finally got a release date for this 4K. This should look really good because this is like a darker movie. Like, hopefully it brings out all that and gets some detail back. But Daylight, 100% a target for me for sure. Another Blu-ray that we got announced. My man Brian and I were talking about this one. We're both fans of this one. This one was on a couple lists of mine over the past several months. Just Friends, the Ryan Reynolds, Amy Smart, Anna Faris, Chris Klein is getting a Blu-ray from Warner Archive. Now, this is the first time it's ever had a domestic, let me say this because I know Brian caught grief for that, a domestic Blu-ray. So it has had a foreign Blu-ray. It has not had one in the United States. Brian says this one's going on a 50 gig Blu-ray. So looking forward, that's a must for me, a must, because I only have an old, used to death, crappy DVD. So that one's a must. Coneheads, if you're out there, Coneheads has got just got announced, a 4K of Coneheads coming. I was never as big a fan of Coneheads as some people, but I do like Dan Aykroyd. There's some chatter about Last of the Mohicans coming, but man, there's so much speculation out there. Let's get to my Screen Factory targets before we get new announcements from them in the next couple weeks. I have a lot of targets coming from Screen Factory, y'all. Definitely. Let's see, where is the so here's one, and I know I'm going to take grief for this, but Ghost of Mars, I haven't ordered this yet, but this is coming out February 11th. I'm going to get everything that Carpenter puts out. $39.98. Now, they didn't do a black box for this, and they did not do one for Vampires, which is also a target of mine, and I have not ordered it yet because I just haven't had the money. But Ghost of Mars, double slip, double poster, $39.98. High target for me. Not his best movie, but I think it's a little more fun than a lot of people give it credit for. It's not. I've heard so much stuff here lately about complaining about plots and acting in like horror and sci-fi films, and I'm like, well, did any of y'all live through the 80s and really watch those movies back then? They're not known for plot and acting. Vampires. Here, this is the standalone. I want the set with the two. I mean, because only like $4 difference, $3 difference. Vampires, huge target for me. I've talked about it before. And then a couple of others, the Corman movies. So these I want to revisit and own in honor of my dad, because my late father, he loved B movies. I've said it before. He consumed the crappiest like B movies and horror movies and crappy sci-fi movies and action movies, like they were champagne and fine caviar. He really did, man. He really did. I love him to death. I miss being able to talk to movies with him. He would love shit like this. Humanoids of the deep coming out. Fish-like creatures. Let's just say they get fishy, and definitely one that I want to have. And I like Humanoids of the Deep, but because you got to respect them for what they are, right? And there's another one that's coming out, and I'm trying to scroll through here and find it. I don't understand why they don't have all their coming soons together here. Let's see. Wait, here we go. Let me get the new and upcoming releases. All right, here we go. Galaxy of Terror. All right. Do a lot of you know that Bill Paxton and James Cameron worked on this movie? It's an Alien ripoff. And there is a totally unnecessary, like, long, let's say unwanted sex scene between the alien and a woman in this. And this movie, like, it's got crazy sets and all this kind of stuff. It is all that, man. It is all that. And I actually like it. Yeah, it actually talks about it right here. The film had a share of emerging talents. James Cameron did the production design, and actor Bill Paxton worked as a set decorator on this. So that's, if you'll notice, Bill Paxton pops up in Cameron and Schwarzenegger movies. Those guys got to know each other very early. Paxton and Cameron, and then Paxton and Schwarzenegger, and always together because they worked together back in the day. But you're going to see a lot of other faces like Sid Haig. And I got to meet and hang out and eat with Sid Haig and Bill Moseley, and they gave me awesome signed stuff and everything else. And, Sid was awesome. He's in here, much younger, Sid Haig. Robert Englund is in this movie. Aaron Moran from Happy Days is in this movie. You're going to see some faces in here. This is a must-own for me. I have vivid memories of watching this one with my dad. Big time. And you can't complain. If anybody's out there complaining about these titles from Scream Factory, you can't complain about these titles. These are titles that are like new to them on 4K and all this stuff, and they're pulling some different stuff. So I hear on the one side people complain, oh, they're just updating their catalog. And then when they do other stuff, people complain about that too. So in other words, you can't make anybody happy. So just pick the things you want. Pick the things you want and enjoy them. Enjoy them for what they are, and instead of what you didn't get. Like, I mean, I want In the Mouth of Madness as well. I'm sure we're going to get there eventually. By the way, here's the vampire set that I want, the one with the 2 slips and everything. This is one of my favorite vampire movies ever. It's top 10 vampire movie for me. It's a Western, man. It's a horror vampire Western with great anti-heroes. Love it. Love it. So those are some targets. Eventually I'll get around to The Last Voyage of the Demeter, but that one didn't hit as hard for me. The Gift, oddly enough, I ordered The Gift from Arrow because I was making another I was making another order. I pre-ordered from Orbit. We're going to get back to that in just a minute. And I needed a third film to save the $6 on shipping. It was the same price with Arrow as it was with Screen Factory. And it's the same scan, same everything. But I was going to save $6 on shipping. So if it's the same price and you take $6 on shipping, you actually got the movie for $6 less. So that's the reason I'm getting it from Arrow. So that is kind of the Screen Factory news. Galaxy of Terror, Humanoids of the Deep, Ghosts of Mars. They also put out Sick, which is I'm not really interested in. It was a movie that came out on streaming. You know, kind of like virus, COVID-related home invasion type thing. I kind of skimmed it back in the day, but that's it. And then let's get back over here to Orbit. We're going to get to those umbrella sets. We're all waiting with bated breath on our Never Ending Story set if we don't have it yet. Now, when it comes to Arrow, I could not resist. I got a couple that I had to have. I didn't have to have them, but this, in hindsight, there's a little bit of regret because I used up money that I could have bought for other stuff, things I didn't have. But because I have a budget, right? We can have a budget out there. Live with your budget. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, you guys know I've worked with Bill Moseley, love him. This is my favorite Texas Chainsaw movie, and it's got Carolyn Williams, who I talk to all the time, did the painting for her that I need to send her of a photo shoot she did. I like this. This is my favorite one. This artwork, this set by Arrow, I had to have it. Totally awesome. So that's a pre-order, as is Life Force. So here's the big thing with Life Force. It has the uncensored, director's cut, the extended version, which is like 16 minutes longer. Arrow is giving that to us in 4K. Screen Factory did not give that to us in 4K. They said they couldn't do it in 4K. Arrow did it. So I am going to watch and report back. Cannot wait to get this. I think the drop date on this is February 17th. Cannot wait to get Life Force and check out that cut in 4K. That is the way to watch that movie. And this has some pretty saucy interior cover art that I can't show you here. But definitely, I passed on Al Pacino's Cruising, and it's just not one that I would maybe watch it once and it would sit there. I can't buy things like that right now. And then Alice, Sweet Alice. Be honest, I have never seen this movie. So I just didn't have the money to blind buy right now. I need to go and check this one out. A try before you buy first. But that kind of catches us up on Arrow's stuff. And then Umbrella goes and drops some announcements as well. I mean, there was like nothing, and then there was just this glut of everything, right? And the big one for me with them is Daybreakers. Y'all are all welcome. I got the Blu-ray Curse. Now, I'm okay with the Blu-ray Curse because I just bought the Blu-ray like a month or so ago for 92 cents at Goodwill. So I think I'm okay on that one. But it is coming with a big box set to 4K. Let me see if I can pull Umbrella up directly for you guys real quick. Okay, here we go. The pre-order is live on this. $70. And you're going to get all this. Got Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, 4K feature, 100-page hardback book, the big set. Umbrella does those big sets, y'all, those big-ass box sets. You're going to get that of Daybreakers. That's definitely a target for me. I can't afford to get it right now because the shipping adds a lot there. So that, you got to keep that in mind. And I don't feel like it's one that's going to sell out immediately. I may bite it and be wrong. But $70, huge, nice set, definitely a target for me. And then they had another one that is kind of an underrated. It's kind of a little bit of a heavy movie, and it's just going to be a Blu-ray. Umbrella needs to get to where these big sets they're doing are 4K. They really do. They need to they need to be 4Ks. They doing these massive sets in Blu-ray, especially for stuff that was shot on film. Kind of, I'm not really sure, but this is a very cool set. $55. Black Death. This stars Sean Bean. And I've seen this one actually a couple of times. So if you like period piece, got Eddie Redmayne in here too. If you like period pieces, anything with like swords and stuff like that, swords, magic, all that kind of stuff, I'm gonna kind of be down for that. It's the same director, one of us Smith boys, Christopher Smith. He did Creep, Triangle, and Severance. So this is it says, march beyond the marsh to find hell in the nihilistic pagan horror where torture, necromancers, and witches cloud the waters in this holy crusade into the heart of paradise. So it's kind of like a horror witch / sword and sorcery. It's cool. I like the movie. I think this artwork looks cool. And I would love it. It's definitely a target for me. Long range, I can't get any of these right now because you're talking about $125, and I don't think that's enough to get free shipping. So you're talking about $145. So I just can't touch those right now, but definitely on the list. So I wanted to touch those with you guys. They had a couple of other announcements too. To be honest, they weren't things that caught my interest. So we're getting another Shining 4K Steelbook release, I guess, if you need it. Okay, I don't know how many times we're going to release The Shining. And let's see, what else do we have here? There's a little controversy with Riddick that I touched on my live stream. I really kind of want a refund to send this back because I'm so against censorship, and I know it seems stupid, but this restoration was approved and supervised by the director, and they cut out the little part at the end where Vin Diesel squeezes Katie Sackhoff's butt as he's being rescued, and it's stupid because they banter sexually in the movie. There's this sexual tension between them. Kind of will they, happen kind of thing. And then she saves him, and she has the callback line to the Sweet Like where he's supposed to squeeze her butt, and they cut out the butt squeeze. Like, really, we're worried about being that PC right now, like that's offensive to someone. I do not like censorship in any way, shape, or form. We can't afford to lose our advantage on physical media. The advantage of physical media, one of the things we tout is that you're going to get everything uncensored, that we're not going to get a history altered version of a movie where they're cutting out scenes, they're using AI to change lines and change scenes to reflect someone's currently misguided sensibilities, and they can't handle something that's a piece of art that marks the time and that isn't real, so they gotta whitewash it, cleanse it for anything that someone else deems that you shouldn't watch. I'm not into that at all. Let me say that. And say, oh, it's a small thing. That's how it starts. One little thing here, oh, it's just a butt squeeze. Then it's just, well, let's go ahead and cut these problematic 15 seconds. And then, that whole scene is kind of problematic. And then next thing you know, things just keep getting changed and changed and changed. Give an inch and a mile will be taken. So no, I am not okay. Had I known it was cut, I would not have bought it. And y'all, I love Scream Factory. I love Scream Factory. And this 4K looks amazing. Do not start cutting shit because it will kill physical media. That is a massive advantage that we have over streaming. I don't care how innocuous or benign it seems. That's how it starts. It's the frog in the pot. You're in the cool water and it just keeps getting a little warmer until it's too late. All right. So I have a problem with that big time. Big time. And so do a lot of other people. We also got an announcement of scanners on 4K. I'm a Cronenberg guy. He gets too far out there on some stuff, but I like scanners. I held off on getting it during Criterion because it was a Blu-ray and it was only from a 2K scan. And here we are. A 4K is coming. Now, this is a foreign 4K. If 4K is out there, we're going to get it here eventually. So I'll wait till it comes here on this one because it will come. Whether it's Criterion or someone else, probably will be Criterion upgrading all of Cronenberg would be my guess because they've already done Videodrome and stuff. If they can get it, they will. So Scanners did get a 4K announcement, though, coming out at the end of March. Look for it soon, probably from Criterion or somewhere else domestically. That's what I'll wait on because I can't jump and buy it right now anyway. So that is a lot of the news right now, a lot to get to. Sorry to keep you guys so long. And as it is, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm forgetting something else that I really wanted to talk about. But there was like nothing. And then it was like, oh, here's all this. The Keep got a 4K from Imprint. That's coming out. I'll put the link down below. You can still get the Keep 4K standard edition down below. You can get it at Amazon. I'll put the link. You guys, if you use any of the links for any of the things I talk about, pre-order what, if you go to Amazon to get them, or anything you buy while you're there, it helps me out. So I'll put the links down there. I just reviewed and saw the movie Werewolves with Frank Grillo. Me and my son enjoyed it. It's got plot holes, ridiculous, but it's got awesome action, awesome practical werewolf effects. You love to see it, like an 80s movie, back to life. Cape Light is putting out the 4K of it at the end of January 23rd, and that means that we will get it here domestically as well. It's a cool looking 4K. Me and my son will definitely rewatch. It was fun. I don't care what people say. Again, I'm not grading horror movies like that on plot holes and stuff. I mean, are acting. It was a fun ride. That's what I care about with movies like that. So there we go. The Substance is coming out there. You can grab that. There's just so much. Of course, the over-the-top 4K that is coming. That's a massive one to me. Hoping it comes with Vinegar Syndrome. The Vinegar Syndrome yearly subscriber sale is coming. The Vinegar Syndrome, where you can subscribe for a year, that's happening in January. It's something I'll consider because if you guys don't know, I talked about this on my live stream. I just found out recently that my film Bring Me a Dream, starring Martin Cove and Tyler Main, it is being it's distributed right now with Magnolia Pictures and Indican Pictures. I got the word the other day that they are talking with Vinegar Syndrome, because Magnolia is a partner label, on passing those physical media rights over and having that movie be released by Vinegar Syndrome. So that would be awesome. So we'll look into all that. Just so much. Sorry to keep you so long. Lots of information. We do everything here. You guys know it. Physical media news, 4K reviews, lists, rankings, all that kind of stuff from a fan and filmmaker's perspective. If you enjoy all that kind of stuff, make sure you check out all my other videos and like and subscribe and stick around. Join the channel. Help support the channel by joining at my Patreon or right here on YouTube. Become a channel member and get special videos. I just uploaded a couple yesterday. Lots of fun, and I really do appreciate it, and use those links, and that helps me out too, supports the channel and costs nothing, and I really, really appreciate it, y'all. So much to get to, lots more videos before Christmas. I hope everybody's having a great holiday season, and until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. That was a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye now.